Hey guys, welcome. So today I am going to be doing a manga collection for the year of 2022. I am excited to show you guys everything that I've gotten these past years. I started collecting around, seriously collecting around 2021. However, I did pick up the occasional manga like in 2020, 2019, but serious collecting was in 2021. So I'm excited to show you everything I have gotten, and I hope you guys enjoy. This will actually be the last video for the year of 2022, so that's very exciting, and I hope I can continue making more videos in the future. So let me show you guys an overview of the shelves before I begin explaining each manga. I will like to say it will be quite rambling a lot about these series, so I do apologize if that's not your type of collection tour video. But anyway, let's begin. Okay, so the first shelf is like all my art books, magazines and such, so we'll go through them. So first I have the 20th anniversary of Haikyuu, and I got the special edition which came with a bunch of like acrylic stands, cards and all of that, and you can see in the boxing video of that on my channel. But here it is. It's so nice. I love Haikyuu, so just owning this was amazing. And I put them together because obviously even because if you can't tell, I did like descending order, but I had to put them together. So yeah, and this is the only magazine that's like in my art book section, and that's just simply because it's super tall and thin, and it's a Spoon 2DI magazine. So at the front here we have Tokyo Revengers, which is the main reason why I got it. I'm pretty sure I also have an unboxing video. It's like one of my first manga unboxing videos. But yeah, here's that. The spine does kind of bother me. It's like hot pink, but honestly I low-key love it. It's just a bit off with the rest, but that's fine. Here is like my pride and joy, like my all-time favorite art book, and that is of course the Ayakano illustration book. But I would say I think it only contains Requiem of the Rose King. I don't remember seeing any Ultimate or anything, so yeah, but I'm so happy that I have this. In it I saw that this was in stock on CD Japan. I just picked it up instantly and I'm so happy. It's just, I love just looking at this just from time to time. It's so nice. Okay, this one I don't think I've ever shown on the channel, but here's one art book I got in store. I got a Books no Kuniya, and it's of this series. I never read the manga, but I watched the anime and I enjoyed it. I found the romance pretty cute. I don't know if I will read the manga. I don't know if I have enough interest to read the manga, but if you just can't tell, like, look at the art. It's so pretty. Like, even on art alone, I just had to pick it up because just wow, honestly. And then here we have the like 19 days section where we got the two art books by the creator of 19 days. I don't know how you say their name, but here is the first one. And like, I love 19 days. It's by far one of my like favorite series, so having this in my collection is definitely a blessing. And then of course with the art books, I have the first volume of 19 Days. I don't know if there's gonna be any more, but just having the first is enough, not gonna lie. It's just nice to own 19 Days in physical because I do read the scans unfortunately, so I do like supporting the creator. And then I think this might be my only like English translated art book, official art book, and that's the Tokyo Ghoul illustration. I've only watched the anime for this as well, but the art is so pretty, so I just picked it up quite a while ago. I think I picked it up in like 2020, so yeah, whenever this got released, that's when I picked it up. I do want to get the manga, but for now this art book will suffice. And if I don't know if I'll get the next art book, maybe. I just don't enjoy Ri as much as Tokyo Ghoul, even in the anime. So yeah, but I do know that the Tokyo Ghoul anime adaptation was like botched, so I do want to read the manga. I'm just waiting for the box set to come down to a reasonable price. Next up, this one I'm also so happy to own, and it's the Blue Period art book. It's so pretty. Unfortunately it did get a bit ripped, the OB, because my friend was just looking at it, and honestly I don't blame her because I've done it before. It's just I keep the like all the OBs and just all the papers and stuff, so putting them back on when you pull them out can be difficult if you're not careful. So I don't blame her, and it's like only the OB, none of the book is damaged, so I'm not complaining. But yeah, the next one is not technically an art book. It's like a character guide for this game. I did watch the anime. I didn't really enjoy the anime, not gonna lie, but I really like the character designs, especially this guy. He's very fine. So I just decided to pick it up. And it's just nice because I do like the character designs. I don't mind owning this despite not really enjoying the anime or having played the game. It's kind of like Bungo Stray Dogs, where you have a bunch of well-renowned authors turned into anime dudes or characters. And then next, I think was like one of my first ever art books, and that's the Toilet Bound Hanako art book. I know this got translated in English, like printed into an English release, but I'm satisfied with owning the Japanese. And I remember I first saw this on TikTok, and seeing how stunning this book is made me want to pick it up. I mean, like, look at the art. I've never read the manga, I've only watched the anime. I know the anime was like a promotion to get people to read the manga, but I heard that there is actually going to be a proper anime adaptation for this series. However, I think I will probably watch it. I'm just gonna wait for the box set before I pick up the manga. And then we have my like fan art books and such. So here is an artist I follow on Twitter who had some like fan art books of series I was interested in, so I picked them up. So here's the first one of Tokyo Revengers. The art is so pretty, honestly. I'll put their like Twitter tag here because you should definitely support them. The art is so nice. I got that one, and the Jujutsu Kaisen fan art book. This one has a lot of ghetto art, but it was still super nice to look at, and honestly I'm just so happy to have this in my collection, and I just love supporting artists in general, so I'm very happy to own those. Tucked in like the far back just because of how small they are, we have the Jujutsu Kaisen Fanzine Tiger Club. So I have volumes 1 and 2. This is such an adorable like alternate universe of where the Jujutsu Kaisen characters, as you can see, are like little animals. They have like the ears and tails and such, and it's so cute and it's so wholesome. It really makes you forget about what is currently happening in the current Jujutsu Kaisen manga. And as you can see, they're like little kids, and it's so wholesome. I highly recommend also checking out this artist. I put their like socials and stuff. They make some like amazing art, so I highly recommend checking them out. So cute. So those are all of my art books and such. I'm hoping to get more in the future, but I am quite happy with what I have. And then moving on, we have all my magazines. I have accumulated quite a few. I like getting magazines to support the mangaka, or if it's a series that I just really adore. So that's why I have quite a few, but I'm happy to own all of them. So I'll just quickly show them. So these 3 are the Princess magazine, and if you didn't know, Requiem of the Rose King is printed in the Princess magazine, which is my all-time favorite manga. So obviously I had to get a few, so I'll just show you the covers. Most magazines usually come with like some special goodie or such, so it's also like nice to own merch of a series that I love. So these 2 came with like these like postcards, which you'll see later on in the collection, and this one also came with like a book, which you'll see later on as well. We have this one, and then we have this one, which came with, I'm trying so hard not to get these 2 coupled, with this like little small art book of this manga series. And despite me not having read this, the art was absolutely stunning, and you can see how like detailed it is. It was so nice to look at. And I have all these magazines have been unboxed in at least one of my unboxing videos, so you can check them out if you want to see what exactly came with them. Let me just move these. So this one is now Hane to Yume. So the first few I got because of Yona of the Dawn. As you can see, we got Hack on the front cover, and that is stunning. And this came with a Yona acrylic stand. Here is another one, and this came with like these prints from Yona of the Dawn, and I have some hung up, but the rest are just here. And then this Hane to Yume I got because of a specific series that I just recently fell in love with. So, let's see. This is very chaotic. Here, so this is the same creator who did Cheeky Brat. This is their new series, and this came with these standees, which I have displayed on my shelf. And then I have some Cheese magazine, and I have these because they print The King's Beast, which is another favorite manga of mine. So I'll just show. So this one didn't come with any goodies actually. I purely got it because the mangaka of The King's Beast promoted it on Twitter, so I picked it up. It just came with the latest chapter of The King's Beast. And then this one actually features the main couple in the King's Peace as the front cover, which is so stunning. And it came with this clear file. You can once again check these in an unboxing video and just hear how excited I was to finally own a magazine of the King's Peace and have some merch of it. Oh, gosh, bro. And then my bookend. So that is the first shelf, and just in the corner is my Rin prize figure from Love Live. She was the first prize figure I ever got, and I got it as a birthday gift, so I cherish her a lot, despite she has been through a lot. She's like super glued on this because I broke her leg. Yeah, she's been through a lot, but I just love her so much. So that is my first shelf. We are now on to the second shelf, which contains a lot of my taller manga. So first we have Blue Flag, which I really loved, and I think it was like a needed series, especially for a shonen manga, because it has like some LGBT themes where practically, it's been a while since I've read it actually, but like a love square. It's like a very complicated love square where I think you can see just by who their eyes, like who's interested in who, and we're just following, we're just following these characters as they are coming of age, dealing with their sexuality, friendships, relationships, just all of that, and I really enjoyed it. I think definitely an issue with this series is just too short. I think many people have said this before, it's just too short. Especially the ending, although I liked the ending because, you know, everyone got their happy ending. I just wish some things were explained better, or we saw more of what was happening for them to get to that point in the manga at the end. But overall, it was cute because everyone got their happy ending, so I can't really complain. But I overall really enjoyed this series, and I know for a while this was like hard to find just because everyone was getting it, but if you have not read it, I highly recommend. Even though we get a major time skip where a lot of things aren't shown or explained, I do think that the first and like middle was really strong enough that I still think it's worth a read. And I just love the spines as well, just look at them, I just love it. So yeah, next, okay, so here we have my all-time favorite GL. So this is Whisper Me a Love Song, where we're following this girl who watches a band play during their like opening ceremony, and she just falls head over heels for this girl who sung, and from that she just like admires and completely just falls in love with her. And then eventually she obviously reciprocates, but then they realize that they have two very different meanings of love, and it's them trying to navigate that and navigate their relationship, and it's so wholesome. It is insta-lovey, which I've heard people complain about, but I don't know, I think it just works really well in this. The way it's dealt with and everything, it's just so cute. I can't, they're like the cutest couple ever, and it contains so many tropes I absolutely love. Especially that one where it's like, oh, one person is like looking at something and they're like, oh wow, that's so beautiful, and then the other person's like, yeah, it is, but they don't mean like the scenery, they mean the person, and you see them looking at, oh. So that happens in here, and it's so cute, and I just absolutely love it. From volume 4 we can definitely see that there's some conflict, so I am excited to see how that is dealt with. And overall, I just really love this manga series, and I highly recommend it. It's very good for people who are just wanting to get into GL, I think, because it's just super wholesome and cute, and this is a pretty accessible series, so I highly recommend you guys check out my all-time favorite Geo. Next up, we have Sachi's Monstrous Appetite. I only have the first volume. I read this such a long time ago. I got this for like my birthday, I think last year. Yeah, I got it for my birthday last year, so like in May, and then I read it. It was, from this just first volume, it was but the ending of this first volume, I am curious to see what happens, so I do plan on getting more eventually. However, it's not like a top priority of mine. It has the tall girl short guy trope. It just bothers me that they make the short guy he looks too much like a child, so that kind of like puts me off. But I know this is only like 6-8 volumes, so I will probably pick up the rest eventually. This is another one that's pretty accessible. Okay, here we have one of my all-time favorite series, and that is Blue Periods. I have 1 to 6. I have the first arc. Despite it being like one of my favorite series, I actually don't have most volumes. I think I'm missing like 5 volumes. For sure, like volume 11 is already out or early release. But I love Blue Period so much. It's about this boy who's sort of like a delinquent, you know. He like smokes, he drinks, but he's like a smart student, you know. He gets the good grades and such, and he just has this expectation that in the future he is just gonna get like a 9-to-5 job, go to a good uni, you know, just live that life. So he finds that his life doesn't have much meaning, you could say, because he hasn't really found a purpose in life, and that isn't until he sees a painting that he just falls in love with it, and eventually wants to pursue art as a career and go to like art school and such, and it's amazing. Even if you don't enjoy art, I highly recommend you guys check it out. The characters are so relatable, realistic. They all have their own struggles. No one is perfect, and I just love that so much. It feels so raw, and the art is amazing. I love all the references to like different artists and different very iconic and famous artworks in the past and such, and we see this character continue striving despite just being a beginner but wanting to go to like one of the top art unis. It's just amazing. I love it so much, so I highly recommend you guys read it. I would recommend getting the first 6, and then maybe I would recommend testing volume 1, because I know some people find it a bore after volume 1, so then I recommend not reading it. But if you enjoyed volume 1, I recommend reading up to volume 6, like if you're getting the physicals, because that is the first arc, so you'll just complete one arc, and this first arc alone was just so many emotions. I remember crying in quite a few of these. I remember crying in these 2 definitely. It's just amazing, and this is actually a series I have annotated, so annotated as in post-it note for each one. So let me just show you guys here. And I drew that. So we have love, sad, relatable, and inspirational, and I just love it. And I also love how the first arc ended. The way it just like ties back to volume 1 is just amazing. There's so much praise I can give to this series. I just highly recommend you guys check it out. Kind of wish my, you know, spines were a bit more aligned, but oh well. And then we have Magus of the Library. I only have 1 volume, and just from this 1 volume alone, I love it. As you can see, this is another one I have annotated because I feel like it's just worth annotating. I don't annotate every series. There are just a few that I believe are just like they are worth annotating, so blue period. And then this one, Magus of the Library, I just love it. It's been a while since I've read it, not gonna lie, but I know it's about this boy where books are seen as like valuable and such, and he comes from like a poorer part of the world, so he's not able to have access to these books, but he really wants to or something, and he just sees the world of books and knowledge. And as just like a reader myself, I just loved seeing it, and the art is also so nice. I wish I could show you. Like, the art is just so nice. It's so detailed. Let's see, I kind of find like one of my favorite scenes in the entire first volume. Okay, so I found it. So it's like this, and then it's like that, and it's so nice. And just like, look, the amount of detail in just these 2 pages alone. And I forgot to mention, there's like this society, there's like these group of people who like work at libraries, and they like protect the books, restore the books and such, and he gets an opportunity to join them. So I just loved it. I'm planning on getting like the rest of the volumes because I'm pretty sure this is like quite a slow release, and then just rereading volume 1 and then binge reading the rest, because I love binge reading volumes, honestly. Oh no, I can't put it back in. Okay, so technically not manga, but we have Heaven's Official Blessing volumes 1 to 4, the Danmei. I just love this series so much. I've watched the donghua and I've read some of the manhwa, but I am now just like actively following Heaven's Official Blessing through the English releases of these novels. They are just Seven Seas did such an amazing job. I say this every time, but they truly like outdid themselves with these novels, and I just read these so quickly. They're so good. I remember I once said I wasn't gonna like read light novels and such. I told myself I was just gonna purely stick to manga, but then these like danmeis changed my mind because I just like read through them so fast. I don't even know why I said that, because like I'm an avid reader just in general. So yeah, but they're so good. Honestly, I highly recommend. It's very hard for me to like describe this series. It's like we've followed this world where some people who have proven themselves are able to ascend into heaven. So here we have the prince, and he has ascended 3 times because he is from like a fallen kingdom. Things has happened which you will find out in the later novels, and there he meets this fine man, this feared ghost, and a relationship forms, and it's so cute. I'm so obsessed with these, and I actually have volume 5 ordered. It's on its way, so I'm so excited. I'll be reading that immediately. I'm just scared for my wallet because I know it's like 8 volumes, and these 4 alone have been like expensive, so praying for my wallet. Oh no, the toppling. So then we have A Man and His Cat 1 to 4. This is such a wholesome series where we're following this widowed man who adopts this cat who is seen as like ugly and just unwanted, but he finds it so cute, and he adopts him, and it's like their journey together. Although there are some really cute moments, there are also times where it deals with topics of grief, loneliness, just like growing up and stuff, and it's just it's amazing. They are quite thin, so it is quite expensive. I need to pick up volume 5 soon, because I did see in my manga shopping vlog that volume 5 finally has the number on its spine, so I will be picking it up and eventually getting the rest, because this series is just amazing. And then we have the girl with the sanpaku eyes. Oh my gosh, the toppling. Where it's just this really like super fluffy, super cute romance, where we follow this girl who has like sanpaku eyes, if you couldn't tell from the title, and she's in love with this guy, and it's just these two. I'm pretty sure he also likes her. I'm not exactly sure. It's been like a year since I read this. Or he like at least starts developing feelings for her, and it's just their romance, but it's like very wholesome. It's very super, it's like sickeningly sweet. It's in full color though, which I love. I did enjoy this. It's just the volumes are so expensive just because it's in full color, so I haven't gotten the rest. I think there's only like 4 out. It's like, I think the latest is like volume 4 only, but yeah, it's like really high quality. It's like the flaps, thick pages, yeah, just super high quality. So it's like, even though it's quite thin, I say like you get your money's worth in terms of like quality. But yeah, she's like completely enamored with this boy, and it's very cute. I will eventually get more when I find them for a decent price. And then I'll quickly go through these. Here we have the Genshin anthology. So this is just a bunch of short stories from the Genshin world with the Genshin characters. I don't really play Genshin anymore, surprisingly. I was like obsessed with that game, so I'm very surprised to say that, but I kind of stopped playing for, it's been a few months since I played, but it's still nice to own as just like a reminder of what I used to enjoy. But yeah, then we have the Haikyuu. These are like anthologies. These are fan made, these are not official, but it's just like them in their high school years, and just like a bunch of stories by different artists. It's super cute. There are some couples in here which I just do not like, because they're not it, let's just say. But a lot of them are super cute. I haven't read these because they're in Japanese, but I looked through it. I've Google translated like some of them, so some of the stories, but it's overall just like really cute. And it's so cute seeing like all these different couples or characters in Haikyuu drawn in different art styles, because different artists, not all of it revolves around couples, like some are just like friendships and stuff. So yeah, I'm really happy to own these. I got this when I was like in my big like Haikyuu phase that everyone had, that one year. I think it was like 2019 TikTok. So yeah, 2019, 2020, I forgot. And then we have, I'm gonna move this for a second. And then we have 2 manhwas in Korean, and that is the Remarried Empress, where we're just like following this, oh my gosh, we're following this lady who's a part of this kingdom. She's the queen, and she has a rocky relationship with her husband because he brings in a concubine. and that causes some conflict. And from the title, you can tell she gets remarried. But the remarried part, like the divorce scene and everything, takes quite a while. We just see the like growing conflict and how I love her so much and how like smart she is. She like does everything for the empire practically. She knows her worth, she knows what to do, and I just love that so much. So yeah, I'm very happy that this is getting printed in English. I think the first volume is already out, so I'll definitely pick those up. But I got these like way before there was ever an announcement, but it's nice to own these in Korean. So yeah. Okay. And then we have this Len Price figure. He was like the first figure I ever bought in store. He's so cute. He's like my favorite Vocaloid alongside Gumi and Rin. I love Len and Rin like equally, and then Gumi is like number one. So yeah, I love him. He's so cute. So yeah, that is the second shelf. Here is the third shelf. So I'll just quickly go over the figures because they're like up front. So here we have this Ren Price figure, which is so cute. I just love all the cats. Hate the base, but I love the cats. It is a leaning figure though, so that's kind of scary, but yeah. And on this side, of course, we have Ram, her sister. Of course, I had to put them on the shelf together. So this is another Price figure, and this is from the Alice in Wonderland. I got this as a Christmas gift, and it's so cute. I love her so much. And then just at the very top, it's just this little gachapon figure I got in store from Fate Grand Order. I forgot her name, but yes. So moving on to the shelf, these are my shoujo manga with like colorful spines. That is the theme for the shelf. So first we have Daytime Shooting Star 1 to 12, and this was a series I enjoyed when I read it. However, looking back on it, it wasn't exceptional or anything. I just enjoyed it in the moment. It's just a story about this girl who moves from the countryside to Tokyo, and there she goes to high school and she meets people. There is a very prominent love triangle, one of the love interests being a teacher. So if that's not your thing, I say this isn't for you. Not gonna lie, I don't even like student-teacher relationships, but I did hear something before reading it that made me pick it up and be fine with reading this. That's kind of spoilery, but yeah. So here's the teacher, and then this is the other love interest. I love the spines so much. This isn't my favorite Mika Yamamori work, however, I really love In a Clear Moonlit Dusk. That is my favorite so far out of the ones I've read. I will eventually pick up the English physical prints of that, but yeah. Moving on is one of like my oldest series, Takane and Hana, so 1 to 18. So this is complete as well. Oh yeah, these are all complete shoujos. I don't think you can see, but it's like quite yellowed at the top. Kind of shows its age. It's not super badly yellowed. Yellow manga doesn't really bother me that much, but yeah. So this follows this girl who takes the place of her sister, who was meant to go to like an arranged marriage meeting with this guy, and they make a bet and they eventually get together. I'm pretty sure the bet is like whoever falls first, like one of those sort of things. I will say it is a very prominent age gap. We have a high schooler and an adult man. Age gaps, it really depends on how the age gap is done in manga. Because this took a very more wholesome take, because nothing like sexual was done, I was fine with this. And I will definitely say that it's definitely more comedic than romance. From like here it gets more romance, but the beginning is definitely more comedy than romance. But I just really enjoyed the comedy. I really enjoy this manga series overall. I just love it, and it definitely holds a lot of nostalgia because it's one of the first manga series that I ever picked up in my collection. I got it for my birthday. So yeah, just so many like strong emotions. I kind of like, it's like it's not like rainbow, but it's like different colors. But like I hate, like, why is there like free pink and then just one? It's like they chose colors that don't look nice together. I just, yeah. Volume 17 is my least favorite. It felt very unnecessary, or it could have just been added to volume 16 or 18. It just felt unneeded. But I do have the limited edition. So the limited edition comes with this special cover, which I love, and this bonus sequel stories, which I'm so happy Viz actually printed this. But yeah, moving along, it is Sacrificial Princess and the King of Beasts, so 1 to 15. This is the complete series. This one I love so much. It is such like an underrated shoujo in my opinion, where we're basically following this world where it's split between the beasts and the humans. Because there are these like two split societies, there's a lot of prejudice among the two, and practically as an offering they send in one human girl to the beasts because to keep peace among the two worlds, you could say. And this young girl is sent as an offering to the beast. However, she finds out that the beast actually doesn't eat the sacrifices like what many assume, and he actually sets them free. However, things happen. She discovers a secret of his, and they end up forming a close friendship and later relationship, of course. The romance is really cute. I really love how you can see that they truly care for each other. The beast doesn't try to limit the girl. He's always pushing the girl to try what she wants to do, and he always has faith and hope in her. And same with the girl, doesn't doubt him at any time. Well, in the beginning, but obviously later on when their relationship develops more, they form such a strong bond, and you can truly tell like how much they respect and love each other, which I love. Very healthy relationship. The politics is also very strong in this, I would say, because we're basically because like the romance is like beginning, and then later is more of the politics and such, where she's trying to fix the divide between the humans and the beasts. This is getting an anime adaptation, and I pray it is a good one, because this is a series that deserves more attention. It is so good, honestly. I highly recommend this one, despite it being like kind of like furry, but yeah. Anyway, moving on to the next shelf. This is like my white shoujo beat shelf. So here with Shortcake Cake, we have this like egg shopkin thing. I had this as a kid, so I just put it there because it's white. And then up here, I have this little figure I got from Gachapon. This just sits on top of my books. So Shortcake Cake is a cute shoujo romance. it's by the same mangaka who does A Sign of Affection, which I know is very, very highly praised in the community. It's one I actually haven't read, but I do hope to in the future. And it's this girl who just lives in a boarding school, and that's where she meets a bunch of different people and eventually forms a romance. I would say the romance is quite quick. There was a love triangle, but I felt the love triangle was very like forced. It just didn't make sense for one of the characters to fall in love with her. Really, it just felt like the mangaka just wanted a love triangle. I just didn't see it, not gonna lie, but I am happy with who she ends up with, at least. However, I will say the romance gets resolved pretty quickly, and then it gets to like family drama. Like, I would say like the later half is like there's romance, but it's mainly one of the characters trying to fix their family issues with their brother and such. I think it's their brother, like they're related somehow. And yeah, which I was not expecting, but I actually really enjoyed that. I definitely related to this character. I like how at first the characters, they seem shallow or just they don't have much, but then you later read more and you see how their backstories, how they are, why the way they are because of how they were treated in the past and such, which I really, really love. This is one that, once again, I enjoyed in the moment. Looking back, it wasn't like the greatest thing. It's not like ever gonna be like the greatest manga, but it's definitely like a fun, good one to read. And this, like, the spines are so cute, like the little strawberries, and like the colors are so nice together. They look so like, yes, I'm so happy with this series, and the art is of course stunning. I overall really enjoyed it. And next is another very, very old shoujo of mine, and that is Honey So Sweet 1 to 8. So this is complete as well. As you can see, yellowed. This is a very, 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 very wholesome romance where we're following this guy who is perceived as like a delinquent. And one day this girl helps him in the rain, and he remembers that, and then he eventually confesses to her, like, oh, will you date me with marriage in mind? And she says yes, purely out of fear, just because he has the reputation of a delinquent. But then she soon discovers that he's actually just a very soft boy, you know, and that is like one of my favorite tropes. They are such a wholesome couple. I don't remember much, but I remember that they communicated pretty well in this manga, surprisingly. Like, there were times where, of course, there'll be miscommunication, but afterwards they would learn, and then they would properly communicate with one another, their feelings, and I really like that. There were some chapters or volumes that focused on side couples more than the main couple. There were like no side couples in this that I liked at all. So I don't know what that says, but I love the main couple. And another thing is like there's like these red thread that actually all connects. So if you put all the volumes, it all connects to one, and I think that's so cool. But I really love these like manga covers. They're so pretty. I love like the plaid there. It's just overall just super nice. Once again, I feel like this was nothing exceptional, but it was a very cute and wholesome read. Next up, we have Oran High School Host Club, so 1 to 18. I actually got this in the box set, which is up there on my shelf. So obviously I discovered this through the anime, and I loved the anime as a kid when watching it. Was never satisfied with the ending, so that's why I wanted to read past the anime. However, I was waiting for this box set to go back in stock for a good price, and it finally did. So I picked it up for my birthday, and I just read it all, and it was amazing. It was so good. The first half is definitely more comedic, but then the later half is like more romance, more drama. So for me, the later half was so much better. The comedy in this I do not like, not gonna lie. There's some parts that are like funny, but then other parts I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. I was a bit iffy. But yeah, the later half is so much better. I remember in one of the volumes I actually cried. Yeah, it was just like very emotional, because it had to do with Haruhi. And like, if you know that one scene of like Haruhi, like the rain and stuff, later on, if you know, you know, it's just that scene where she's like all by herself and it's the rain and thunder and just I was like emotional. But yeah, practically we're following this like super rich high school, where practically they're so rich. It was so funny in the anime that like, oh, they so like rich people have nothing else to do, so they created like this host club. So we have all these like guys who act as like hosts, and they all like do a certain like archetype. So you know, like the stoic, the like the cute one, the twins, you know, and like the Prince Charming and all of that. And then one day this girl walks in and accidentally breaks a vase. So then she's under debt, because she's on a scholarship. She's like poor, so she's under a scholarship. So they say, oh, you can work in the host club to pay off your debt. But the thing is, she's a girl, so she has to dress up as a guy and make sure no one finds out about her identity. But yeah, I really loved this series. This is just a very like nostalgic series, and you can definitely see like the difference in art style as the manga goes, and I think that's so cool. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. And here is a Chica figure. Pretty sure that's her name, from Love Live. Just this random leaf thing I put here. I got this in store. She's pretty cute. She's like probably my least favorite figure in my whole collection, but I think she goes with this whole like shelf, so she's here. Next up to Orange High School Host Club is Beastmaster 1 and 2. So I picked this up because I wanted to try something short before trying something like QQ Sweeper and Queen's Quality, which is by the same mangaka, which is something I want to pick up next year. Definitely. I don't remember much. I did not enjoy this that much. I remember wishing that there was more romance between the two, but it's just like this guy, he's like very like delinquent, but like he's just a bit feral. Not gonna like, I don't want to call someone feral, but like, you know, they were like very like, he's just like, he acts very like animal like, and the only one who can like tame him or like calm him down is this girl. However, I don't know, well, it's like 2 volumes. I can't really expect much, but I definitely was expecting more. However, that's not going to deter me from reading her other works, because I know it's like 2 volumes. It's very hard to like write a proper full out romance in 2 volumes. It wasn't even 2 volumes, because I know like halfway through this, it moves on to like some other short stories that they just put into the manga. But yeah, I do love the art style, definitely. It's like, yeah, I love the art style. One thing that this 2 volumes had was the art style. I really like it. And next up, we have Yona of the Dawn 1 to 3 with my cute little Yona acrylic stand I got from the magazine. So the rest are on a different shelf. I have like a separate shelf for my unread manga. I will show that at like the very end. So I just have 1 to 3 because these are the only ones that I have read, and I love Yona. It is amazing. I think the amount of times I've praised this series is honestly crazy. I love the anime, and I know the anime, it ends off very abruptly, so I needed to pick up the manga. We're practically following this girl who's like, Yona, she's quite like spoiled. She's lived a very spoiled life, you know, a very sheltered life, because she is a princess. And then on one night, her birthday, which is very sad, her father is killed by someone she trusted and actually like can't believe that he would do it. The one she was practically enamored with, in love with, he killed her father, and now she has to flee the palace, or she will be killed. And she flees alongside, you could say he's like her bodyguard, but they're like childhood friends also. Oh, my man, he's so fine. But yeah, they flee, and they practically try to survive. But I just highly recommend you guys checking at least the anime out, because it's so good. I love it so much. The characters are amazing. They're so well written. The politics is amazing in this. The action is also amazing. The art is amazing. Like, hello, I'm just in love with this series, honestly, and I highly recommend you guys check it out. And also the romance is really cute. I love the romance in this. Although there isn't like a lot, it's quite like slow burn. It is very cute. I'm so happy that this is finally reprinting the earlier volumes after who knows how long. And then the oldest manga in my collection, because this is the first ever manga I ever picked up. It's such a random one as well. It's not even like a well-known series. But here's the first manga I ever picked up, and that is Kenka Bancho Otome. And once again, quite yellowed as you can see. But this is like practically this girl, she's on her way to her school, and then she bumps into this guy. She finds out it's like her twin, and then they due to some circumstances, she ends up taking his place in this boys only school. But instead of like learning, it's like they just like battle it out. And practically she just has to hide her identity as a girl, but she's actually a very good fighter. So yeah, I loved this. I love these two volumes, and even though it's like not the like, it's very it is not realistic at all. Like, I mean, a fighting school, you know, for all delinquents. But I really enjoyed these two volumes. I've actually watched the anime as well, and I have such fond memories of the anime, not gonna lie. Watching it with a friend. I know this and the anime is based off a game, and I wish the game had like an English translation, because I would love to play it, honestly, because I really enjoy these two volumes. Like, it's nothing great, but I just loved it. I've like reread it multiple times. I really like it. I don't know why, but yeah. So that is everything for this shelf. And now moving down, we got my dark spine, well, not dark, it's like all black, my black shoujo spines. So we got the white and then the black. So here we have my Miku figure. I just think she goes so well on this shelf, and she's so pretty. My only complaint is her like big base, but besides from that, I just love this figure so much. So first thing on the shelf is Blackbird 1 to 80. Oh yeah, and then we have this, like, I forgot his name, but he's also from Fate. It's like there's like charm things. I lost the string, so he just chills on my shelf now. But we have Blackbird 1 to 18 with the special book, and that's because I do have the box set. Box set is on the other side, so we have both box sets there. Where do I even begin with this series? Blackbird is like a very like old infamous shoujo, because it is quite problematic, not gonna lie. So we're following this girl. She is like the prophesized bride, and practically her blood has like this special immortality, or like it gives whoever takes her, they get like immense power from her blood. So all these like demons, yokais are after her. But during her childhood, she promised to marry this dude, and he later comes rescue her, and then they start a romance. It is very a lot happens, let's say. It is definitely more on the steamy side. Like nothing is shown, but like it is not like your cute romance. It is quite dark, definitely. It is quite problematic, but despite that, I really did enjoy it. Still, it's like that good, you know. Yeah, I'm very surprised this got a box set, but I know it was very popular in Japan. And I remember there's like a one volume, I'm pretty sure it's like volume 8, I got a duplicate of, because in the box set for some reason I got a duplicate, so I had to buy this volume 9, which it's just, I had to pay extra for this, and it's just like, gosh, it was so annoying, because it's like I already paid for the box set because I wanted all the volumes, but why do I need to like wait even longer just so I can read this series? But yeah, this was, yeah, it was interesting, let's say. Just a lot of things happened. Some things I felt very uncomfortable with. The romance was definitely not healthy. It was just like, there were some parts where I was just like, you should not be saying that, or you should not be doing that. I was just like, yeah. But despite all these issues, I did enjoy it to an extent. It was like, I would say it's definitely like guilty pleasure enjoyment. It's just like I feel bad for like even enjoying this, but yeah, it's like, it's just like so bad that it's good. Now here is something that is just peak, honestly. It's, an amazing series, Bloody Mary. I love this manga so much. We're practically following this vampire who's not like other vampires, you know, they can go out in the sun, yada yada yada, but they want to die, but they can't kill themselves, so they go to this priest asking them to kill him, but the priest doesn't know how to kill vampires, so they make an agreement where this dude becomes this guy's bodyguard until he finds a way to kill him. And it's really good. Not gonna lie, I don't remember much, but I just remember really loving it, and like the art is so pretty, and I'm so surprised like people don't talk about this more. I think it is meant to be like these two do end up becoming a couple. I'm pretty sure I read something where it's like the mangaka did confirm that they become a couple at the end. Like nothing's like super, like nothing happens, but the mangaka did confirm that they at least have romantic feelings for one another. So yeah, but I really enjoyed this. It was so good. I highly recommend you guys check it out. I'm pretty sure this is like, it should be pretty accessible. I'm not sure because it is kind of an older series, but from when I picked it up, which was like maybe 2 years ago, it was like I got all the volumes in one go, so I think it should be still readily available, just because I don't know how many people own this, but if you have read this, let me know, because I never meet anyone who has read this, so let me know, please. And then my all-time favorite shoujo, we have a little like corner here for Requiem of the Rose King. So we have this acrylic stand of my two favorite characters and my just number one, Gatsby. I love Requiem of the Rose King. This is one I definitely just recommend you guys just going into this without knowing much. But here's the synopsis, because it's kind of hard for me to really describe it, but I love it so much. It is so good. It is very like loosely inspired by Henry VI and Richard III by William Shakespeare, but instead this character Richard is intersex, so we see how that is seen in this society where obviously those kinds of things aren't as widely accepted. The politics is obviously very strong. However, I will say the romance is very like steamy, especially like here is like the romance is very like steamy, and I'm just like, whoa. You know, Richard pulls a lot of people, let's just say. So yeah, I really enjoy the series. I love it. I don't even know why. Like, there's no one reason I can say for why I love this series so much. It was just like amazing, honestly, and I'd like binge read all of this in a day. It was just, it was amazing. It was honestly like such a treat, not gonna lie, and I really wish I could go back to when I read these for the first time, because that was just like, reading them for the first time was amazing. Definitely want to do a reread once like all the volumes come out, and then I want to do just a nice binge read of all the volumes again. And then wedged on the side is actually some related Requiem books. So here we have the Requiem of the Rose King fan art book, but it's like just smaller version. I love the cover. Just look at all of them. Richard, Gatsby. Oh, I love her as well. They're all so cute. So yeah, I have that. And then here I also have like the novel. So yes, that is how much I like this series. I am willing to collect anything. And then these, I forgot to say, these are like the postcards that came with the magazine. So we have Henry, and then behind Henry I also have Edward. So yes, that is my black shoujo spine shelf. Now onto the very bottom. This is not completely filled because obviously I am leaving space for future volumes, but these are my shorter manga. So first up we have Classmates 1 to 6, missing 4 because that is Sora Tahara, which I don't know if I really want to own that. So yeah, I'm still debating whether I should get that or not. Technically this isn't a sequel as well. You don't need to really read this to read Blanc, but for the first time ever I actually read all the short stories, because the last time I read Occupation to Beloved, I only read the stories that contain the main couple, and then I moved on to Blanc. But practically Classmates, oh my gosh, I apologize for the shakiness. Classmates, we are following these two people where practically their class is made to sing, and he discovers that he isn't singing, but then he later finds out that the reason why he wasn't singing during the practice was because he didn't know how to sing. So then he offers to teach him how to sing because he is in a band, and that leads to them forming a relationship, and it's so wholesome, it's so cute. This made me fall in love with Asumiko Nakamura's works. It's so ridiculously cute. My only gripe is this creepy ass teacher on the spine, which is the reason why I don't want to get Sora Tahara, because I hate him so much. He's just ew, like he's disgusting, honestly. I hate him so much. So yeah, but otherwise it's so cute, and it's not just wholesome, but it definitely tackles some issues. More specifically in Blanc, there was some times where they would tackle issues of like marriage between two guys, what that means for the future, all of that, and it was just like very hard hitting, but also super cute because Blanc is their marriage. So this is their school, this is their marriage, and then there's another one called Home, which is them living together, and it's so cute. So I highly recommend Classmates for anyone who is interested in a really wholesome cute BL. Next up is another Asumiko Nakamura work, and that is A White Rose in Bloom. So this is a GL with it's like a European boarding school, which is so cool. I love the setting, not gonna lie. And during one Christmas, she doesn't go back home, but everyone else goes back home, and the only one who stayed behind was this lady, and these two get close, and then obviously they form a connection. One thing I really loved about this is that it doesn't just focus on the romance, but it also focuses on a lot of issues I wasn't expecting them to bring up, like refugees and stuff. And I was just like shocked that they even brought it up, and I'm like, wow, like it made me love the series even more. But it's so good. Obviously the art is amazing because it's Asumiko Nakamura, and I just love it so much. Unfortunately, this is one that comes out like once every year, so it's a very slow release. Volume 3 in Japanese just came out, so I don't know when we're gonna get volume 3 in English, but yeah, it's a very slow release between each volume. And then next up is Red Riding Hood and the Big Sad Wolf, which I proclaim as the worst manga on my collection. I hate it so much. The only reason why I'm keeping it is once again, this is like one of the first manga I got, so there's a lot of nostalgia for me, and I got it as a gift as well, so I can't like just give it away. It's just, yeah. I was expecting like a cute romance, but the stories are just like, for me, they're so whack, and they're just like everywhere. There's no cohesive storyline, and I don't mind with this like separate stories. It's just, it feels so rushed and messy and just wasn't really well thought out. I just really did not enjoy it. And yeah, it's like we have like teasing sadistic Red Riding Hood and a crybaby wolf. So I was like excited to see that sort of dynamic. I thought it was really interesting, but it just wasn't that good, and it is complete with 2 volumes. Next up is another series that is complete in 2 volumes, and that is Otome Mania. This is one that like surprised me because it was actually really good. I really enjoyed it. We're following this girl who really loves Otome games, so she joins this company who makes those sort of games, and we see like the production, how it's created, and I found that really interesting. That was definitely the most interesting part. I really enjoyed it. I don't know, it was just like, I wasn't expecting on enjoying it that much, but I really liked it. I love seeing like how the games are made, like the voice acting for it. It's just really nice, and I love how determined the female character is. And as you can see, I love the back covers as well. I love how it's like pixelated. It's super cute. This is one that I got for super cheap because it was like overstocked. As you can see, there's like the black dots, which I don't mind. I got them for a pretty good price. I'm really glad, like, for the price I paid. I think I paid like $8. That's like in Australian dollars, by the way, so it would be cheaper like in the US and stuff. But I really enjoyed it. Just like definitely blew my expectations, and I think that's why I like have such high praise for this series. If you're interested in like Otome games or just seeing how they're made, I highly recommend this. It's really enjoyable. This is one that I'm very like pleasantly surprised, and I'm happy I enjoy it as much as I did. Next up we have Boy Meets Maria. So this is just 1 volume. This, unfortunately, the mangaka has passed away, so we'll never get more, but this was amazing. This is a coming of age story of where this boy who's like has this very like child like dream of wanting to just be a hero and having that romance that you see in shows and all of that. And when he goes to this new school, there he sees this dude dancing and at first assumes that he is a girl because he was dressing up as a girl, and he confesses to him. And even after realizing that he is a guy, he still has some feelings, and we see how their relationship progresses. I will say it is very dark. There was like some parts where I just like could not handle because it was very explicit. I'll put the trigger warnings. It's really sad. The topics it deals with, also how it deals with identity and like gender identity and sexuality. It was just very emotional, heartbreaking, but it had a very like hopeful ending, which I really liked. It was just, yeah, unfortunately it did feel a bit rushed, but obviously that is just because you know, the mangaka, which rest in peace. But I overall really enjoyed this, and if you can handle the trigger warnings, I definitely recommend you guys check it out. Next up is a beer which is called The Two Lions, where we follow this delinquent who goes to this university wanting to have a fresh start away from his delinquent reputation that he had in high school. But then he meets this dude who went to the same high school, and then they form a friendship and later relationship, of course. This is one I found pretty average. I think I just put my expectations way too high, not gonna lie. I just expected more from this volume, but it's like only one volume, so I really can't complain, not gonna lie. It's just I was very like highly anticipating this, and I guess I was just kind of let down. I still overall really enjoyed it. It just didn't quite meet the expectations I had. I don't know what expectations I had, it just didn't meet them, but I still really liked it, and I definitely recommend this if you're looking for like a cute romance that's set in college, because it is set in college. But yeah, overall it was kind of disappointing for me. I just found it pretty average. But I am looking to read some of the mangaka's other works. And then we have my Sublime manga, which isn't that many, but we have Given 1 to 6. And we are following this band, and these two especially, where practically he one day finds him sleeping on a staircase with this guitar, and then he asks him, do you know how to fix this? He fixes it, and then he sings, and then he falls in love with his singing, tells him you should join our band, and then eventually he does. And we see how these two, their romance progress. These two are also a side couple. I did not enjoy their arc at all, but I love these two so much. And we see how this character is dealing with the grief of their past lover. So this manga does deal with topics of grief and moving on from that. And I highly recommend you guys watch the anime before reading the manga, because it is a music manga, so I think that it is enhanced by the music in the anime, especially the songs. The songs are amazing in the anime, so I highly recommend you guys go check them out. It is on Crunchyroll. There is also a movie and some specials, so I highly recommend you guys check it out. And if you enjoyed the anime, giving the manga a shot. Unfortunately, this is a very slow release, so volume 7 is coming out next year, pretty sure from my memory, or should be coming out next year hopefully. but I like where it's going from this volume, so I am excited to read volume 7. And then here's my first Sublime, and that is 7 days, Monday to Sunday. So this is the Omni, and I enjoyed it to an extent. We're practically following this guy who he accepts any confession. However, he only dates them for a week before breaking up with them. And one day as a dare, he is asked to confess to him, so he confesses and he says yes, and they develop a relationship. Longer than 7 days though, because they do fall in love for real. But I enjoyed this. I don't have much memory, not gonna lie, because I read this a long time ago. But it was good for my memory, not gonna lie. I definitely need to do a reread because I don't remember much, but I think it was a good starting point for me in like BL, because I think this was like one of the first BLs I read, so it's like a good starting point. But I don't know if I read it now I would have the same feelings as I did when I first read this, because obviously now that I've read more BL and such, my opinions are going to change on what I find is like amazing and what I find is average. I think if I read it now, I would find it quite average, but from when I first read it, I found it pretty good. And then next up, we have some Japanese volumes. So first up, we have Obey Me. This is from the game, but this is just the manga. I don't play the game that much anymore, but once again, it's like a nice reminder of what I like used to be into, what I hyper fixated on, what I enjoyed. So it's nice to just own this. I don't know why it's here. It's meant to be on my Tokyo Revengers shelf, but I'll just show it. This is just Tokyo Revengers like book. I'm not even sure what it is still. I have no idea. If you guys know, please let me know. But yeah, I will explain Tokyo Revengers when I show you guys my shelf, but this is not meant to be here. I have no idea why it's here. I will move this. And then we have some taller manga. So here is another BL that I really enjoyed. It follows this guy who has kind of like a delinquent reputation, but he actually really enjoys watching this kids like hero show, like performance every week. And there he meets this one guy who he believes does the character the best, so he like falls in love with him practically, and it's so cute. This was like a very just like wholesome, cute romance. I really enjoyed this. I definitely need to reread it. This is another one I need to reread because I remember just like having such fond memories of this. So yeah. And then we have volumes 1 and 2 of this seinen romance. This is a very like quiet manga, if that makes sense. It's very peaceful. It's just this romance between these two co-workers, and I really enjoyed it. I just love how like peaceful it is. They both communicate with each other. It's very innocent. It's very cute. If you're just looking for more of a quiet romance, then I highly recommend this one. This is what it is called. If I can focus, that is what the manga is called. And I highly recommend you guys checking it out. It is available digitally, but there's no English print, hence why I got the Japanese. And then this is what came with one of the magazines. Not really sure what it is, not gonna lie. It just has like some manga stories, but yeah, I just put it here because it doesn't really go with the magazines. So yeah. And then we have my Hatsune Miku figure. This one is so cute. This is one I also got as a gift. I remember getting the person saying they got this on sale. But yes, it's so cute. I love it. The face is a bit off, but I really like it. It's super cute. So Miku just chills here with these manga. And that is the end of my first shelf. So now we are going on to my second shelf. Here is my first shelf. So here we have my Kuriko's basketball figure. I am planning on getting the manga, so when I get the manga I will place it there, but for now it remains here. This is my very first scale and it is one I'm so happy to own. But first series is The Promised Neverland, so I have 1 to 20, so that is the complete series. And then we have this like way up here is like this cute like Emma cat figure, so she just sits on my manga. The Promised Neverland, I think, is one you should just go in blind. I watched the first season and I fell in love with it. I really enjoyed it and it became one of my favorite animes, and I was so excited for season 2. Season 2 came out and I was thoroughly disappointed. Even having not read the manga then, I was just so upset with the animation, the fact they just removed like one of the best arcs. I remember reading it in the manga and I'm just like, I can't believe they removed that arc in the anime, and the ending was just disappointing. I just did not like it. So after that I got all the manga because there was like a sale going on for the Viz volumes, so I read it all. I do think there was some parts where like it fell off, especially like I think it was like 15, 16 or so. It's like there I was like, oh, I'm not sure if I really like it, but then it picked up again. I just think it's like the beginning and like the middle is really good, but then towards the end it kind of is a bit eh. I'm not sure how I feel about the ending, not gonna lie. It's kind of it's like a bittersweet ending, and I was just like, oh, I don't know if I really like it. I think it just needed to be a bit longer. Even though 20 volumes is still quite long, I just felt like it had a lot of potential, but it just didn't reach that potential. But I still really liked it. It just never reached that top manga, top anime after season 2, and the like later volumes, like these were just a bit eh. But I still really like this series despite what I said. It's still really good, and I love Emma. I love Emma so much. She's my favorite character. She's so cute in the manga. Next up we have Haikyuu. So I have 1 to 18, which obviously is not all of them. In front we have some of the acrylic stands that come with that 10th anniversary special edition. We have a Yamaguchi like plushie, and then some Haikyuu Nendroids. So we have Hinata, Kenma, and Akashi. So I don't think I need to explain what Haikyuu is. It's a volleyball manga. I watched the anime at first and I fell in love with Haikyuu. It is amazing. And then I eventually picked up the manga. Next year, I keep on saying this each year, but next year I really want to complete this. It is completed at 45 volumes, so it is a very long series. Probably needs a whole shelf, but for now it's just here with Promised Neverland. But I love this series. I love the characters. The matches are so intense. I'm just like always like gripping my seat because it's like, oh, I'm just like, who's gonna win? I just love this series so much, and I highly recommend it. This is a very good series for beginners, I would say. The anime, the manga is very long. I'm still right now I think I'm up to like the let's see, where am I up to? I'm up to oh yeah, I forgot their team name. The match with Ushijima. It's Ushijima's team. But I love this manga, and I'm hoping probably to have a dedicated shelf with Haikyuu because it is one of my favorite series of all time, both anime and manga. So yes, that is my first shelf. So just 2 big shonen series, and we'll move on to the next shelf. Next shelf is all shonen. So first up is just one lone volume of Kaiju number 8. And we're following this world where there are kaijus, which are like these monsters, and there's the team that defeats them, and then there's the team that cleans up the aftermath. And we have the main character who's like a 30-year-old man, which I love. I think that's such an interesting like protagonist who is a part of the cleanup team, so he cleans up all the debris, all the mess, all the remains of the kaiju. However, his dream is to be a part of the crew that fights the kaijus. However, I think this year is the last year he can do it before he cannot apply to the test. However, one occurrence caused, and he ends up shifting with a kaiju, so he can transform to a kaiju. And this volume ended off a cliffhanger, so I do have volume 2. It's on my unread shelf. However, I want to wait until I get more volumes and then I'll do a binge read. But this is one that definitely surpassed my expectation and I really enjoyed it. Next up, we have the infamous Chainsaw Man 1 to 11, so that is complete of the first part. I have not read the second part. I'm just going to be waiting for the physical releases of these to read. I remember at first I found Chainsaw Man a bit iffy, but after reading like 4 to 11, I fell in love with this series. I love this series a lot. I see why it is hyped a lot. It's just really enjoyable for me. I think I was just like thinking too deeply about it. Like I was just expecting something that it wasn't going to be. It's very nonsensical at times. It's fast paced, but I think that's just like the charm of Chainsaw Man. And with the anime, of course, it's getting even more popular. I remember the time when these were like impossible to find. That was just, yeah. But I love this series a lot. It's not like top 10 favorite, but I definitely have grown fond of the characters, especially these two. I love them so much. But yeah, there are some times where it is quite sad, especially that gun devil part, the snowball fight. If you know, you know, just so many emotions. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed it more as a series overall. So yeah, I'm glad I decided to continue reading, so just stopping at 1 to 3 because that's when I found it a bit but the rest is just amazing. So yeah. And then next up is Jujutsu Kaisen, and we have this like little Yuji plush, one of my favorite Jujutsu Kaisen characters. So I have volume 0 here. However, I believe you shouldn't read this before reading Jujutsu Kaisen. I recommend like maybe to like volume 7 or 8 would probably be the best spot to read this. This happens before the events in Jujutsu Kaisen. However, it makes more sense to read this before this, because there are characters in this that you probably will feel more connected to if you have read the main. So that was super confusing, but yeah. I loved the movie for this. The movie was amazing. I watched it in cinemas. But I love Jujutsu Kaisen. This is another series, like I feel like these are all so popular. It's like, do I really need to explain Jujutsu Kaisen? Probably one of the like most popular shonen at the current moment. I know people call this series like mid, or like there's nothing that special, but I love it. I think one thing I love about it is that the characters are so likable and I can like connect to them. And when there's characters that I really like, I tend to enjoy the series more. I love Yuji. I love Yuji so much. He's just such a likable character. I know people call him like a basic MC, but I just love him so much. Yuji is just deserves the whole world. So yeah, I really enjoy it, and Toji's so fine. And then oh, Nanami, like so fine as well, but also like crying inside. But yeah, love Jujutsu Kaisen. I know we're close to where the Japanese releases are, so I know that the releases for these are probably going to slow down. I know this was another one that was like a struggle to find the volumes. Like I remember waiting so long just for volume 1 to come back in stock. But yeah, wow, those were the times, honestly. And then here we have the Jujutsu Kaisen, like, I don't know what this is. It's like a fan book, a guidebook. It just has a lot of information on all the different characters and such. This is all in Japanese though, so I cannot read it unfortunately, but hoping it gets printed in English, since Viz did print out the other like Jujutsu Kaisen like novels and stuff, so I am hoping. And then oh yeah, and then we have this Jujutsu Kaisen like acrylic stand with little baby Yuji. This is from the fanzine, and it came with the volume 1, and it's just super cute, so I just have it here. And then we have Komi Can't Communicate. I have 1 to 17. I know there's like 21 volumes. Volumes come out for this so fast. And then we have a little Gyu from Demon Slayer. I don't have the manga, so he just chills here. But yeah, once again, do I really need to explain this series? I really enjoyed it in the beginning, but it's definitely fallen off. I feel like it's just one that's just gonna get dragged on forever. And I've seen some of the recent chapters, and now there's like another love interest for the main character, and I'm just like, no bro, we just went through that here. Why are we getting another one all of a sudden? I'm just like, man, it's just like it just feels so long, and I'm like worried how many volumes this really is gonna be. But one thing that's keeping me reading is I love how I keep on pulling this volume out and putting it back in. I love the relationship between these two. It's so pure, it's so wholesome. The romance of these two is definitely like my favorite part of the whole thing. The comedy is a bit for me. It's not really that funny. I don't know how I feel about this series anymore. It's just, I enjoy it at some points, and then some volumes are such a bore, I fall asleep. But then others, I'm like hooked. I'll probably continue picking this up, but I'll probably just like get them for cheap, and then that's how I will continue collecting them. But this is like super fast releases. There's like a volume just always out. Every time I go to Books Kidokuria, there's always like a new volume. But yeah, that is Komi. So that is my shonen shelf. And then down here is like mainly shoujo. There's like 1 shonen. This is where it gets a bit like, there's no real order to it. I just kind of put where it looked nice. So here is my Gilgamesh figure. He's so fine. I love him from Fate. I'm not like the biggest Fate fan, but I was quite into the Fate franchise. So yeah, I love Gilgamesh, and he's so fine in this outfit. But anyway, behind him is another manhwa, and that is Hisu in Class 2. I'm not going to take it out because it's a pain to put back in, but I can take out the epilogue because it's just this. But here is one of the cutest couples in existence, and I say this for a lot of couples, but genuinely I felt so single reading this, because practically we are following this guy who gives out love advice to people, and then he comes and asks for love advice, but little does he know who's the person he's talking about. And I think you know, and I'm just it was so like sickeningly sweet. they're so cute, and I just, oh gosh, I just love this so much. These are in Korean. I don't know if we'll ever get an English print of this. I wish, but it's been a while since this has been out. But I'm praying it would be a miracle, honestly. But yes. And then here is the epilogue, where there is also a side couple. Next up, we have Vampire Dormitory 1, 2, 3. So this practically follows this girl who disguises herself as a guy, and she practically is homeless, and she has nowhere to stay. But after she saves him from a situation, he makes an offer to her, being like, oh, become like, not servant, but just like, let me drink your blood from anytime, anywhere, sort of thing, and I will give you a place to stay. So she takes it, but he doesn't know that she's actually a girl, so she is also hiding that from him. I had like such high expectations, even though like I knew it wasn't gonna be like good, but I had high expectations it was gonna be like trashy good. It's all right. I probably will continue getting them because it does have potential, and I definitely see it. So I'm hoping that I will enjoy it more, and I'm hoping it's like a Chainsaw Man case, you know. So I will continue collecting these, and like the spines are so nice, so you know. So yeah, I just find the romance is a bit rushed, that's all. I don't like it when the romance is like too rushed, or I just don't feel the chemistry. So yeah, but it definitely seems like they are starting to develop feelings, and it seems to be slower now from like volume 3 and such, and it seems to like make more sense. So I have hope for like volume 4 and such. Next up, we have Love Sick Ellie 1, 2, 3, and we follow this girl who has a Twitter, and she practically posts all her fantasies of guys and such, and of relationships. And then one day she practically her newest interest is of him, so she posts all her like relationship fantasies with him on Twitter, and then he one day discovers, and that kind of leads to a bond forming between the two. And she also discovers a new side of him, because he's like the popular princely type, but she discovers he's actually a bit immature and all of that, and more childish than what people see. And I love this so much. It's a bit cringy at some points, but I just love how the two are both like accepting of each other's like weird sides, and they don't try to change that. And you can just see like how they start falling for each other, especially him falling for her. It's just it's so cute. Even though at some points I do cringe, I am so excited. I definitely need to get the rest of the volumes and read the rest, because it's so good, and I'm so glad Kodansha printed this in English. Next up, we have Prince Freya 1 to 5. This is like so much darker than what I expected. There was some scenes that I was not expecting. Like, we see a head chopped off, but you just like see it come off. There's like no censorship or anything. I was just like, whoa, I was not expecting that. Because practically we're following this girl who lives just in a quiet village, but then she one day discovers, as she goes to the kingdom, that she has a very scary resemblance to the prince, the ruling prince, who died. He just died, but no one knows, because they don't want to worry the citizens of the kingdom. So she takes his place, and I love seeing the development, because obviously it's very hard to just pretend to be someone, especially like a prince, after living in just like a small quiet village, being protected and sheltered. So obviously you see her struggle at first, but then you see her develop, and I really like that. I definitely enjoy the like politics and all of that more than the romance. I think the romance is a bit subpar, not gonna lie, but I definitely just enjoy her trying to protect the kingdom from enemies and such, and making alliances a lot more. Surprisingly I enjoy that more. But it's really good. I just need to get the rest, because I think volume 6 and 7 is already out. But yeah, I really enjoy this, and I highly recommend if you're looking for a more like darker shoujo, because this is definitely a darker one. Next up, we have Dawn of the Arcana 1 to 8 with Lou Flareon figurine on top. So Dawn of the Arcana, I think I've expressed many times how this disappointed me so much. I think this was one of the series that I just felt most disappointed in, because we're practically, the synopsis advertises this series, not gonna lie, in more of a romance. However, I will say the politics and action and stuff is definitely stronger than the romance. The romance is like the weakest part of this whole series. I just do not enjoy it. I felt it was very rushed. I don't see how they fell for each other, not gonna lie, or how they develop feelings from hatred. Like, they change from hatred to like love so quickly. I just could not see it. But I do enjoy the like politics, the action and all of that, and like the magic, because the main girl has these powers where she can see in the past and stuff, and I really enjoy that. I don't enjoy the romance, and I think just because I was expecting the romance, I was severely disappointed. And it's crazy because like Rory Toma can write romance. She literally wrote The King's Beast, which I'll talk about. That's like, the romance is amazing in this, but this one is just it's not really that good. I've been stuck on volume 8 for so long, because volume 9, 11, 13, especially volume 13, but volume 13 has been out of stock for who knows how long. So I've been stuck on 8 volumes for a really long time. I was worried that this wasn't going to get printed anymore, because I don't think it's that popular of a shoujo. However, I have heard news that it is getting reprinted, like volumes 9, 11, and 13 are getting reprinted. So I'm so excited, so I can finally complete this. And I'll probably have to do a reread of the whole series. I'm hoping maybe because my expectations are different now, I will enjoy the manga a lot more, because I love The King's Beast, which was written by the same mangaka, and it's actually set in the same world as Dawn of the Arcana. However, this is more like European setting. This is more like Asian, Chinese setting, where practically we follow this world. So both of the worlds, where there are like these Arjans, which are half beast, half human. He is an Arjun here, but and practically the Arjuns are inferior to the humans, and there are some Arjuns who possess powers, and those who possess powers are sent to the royal palace to serve them. And this is where this young girl's brother is revealed to have powers, and he is sent to the palace. However, he mysteriously dies, so as revenge she goes to the palace disguising as a guy to find out who really murdered her brother and why, how, and just solve the mystery and bring justice to her brother. And I just love this manga series so much. It's so good. The mystery plot is definitely, I'll say, weaker in the beginning. I feel like the romance develops more. Oh my gosh, I cannot put this in. The romance develops more in the beginning. However, with volume 7 and 8, we still get romance, but the mystery and some stuff are explained a lot, especially in volume 8. A lot of stuff is explained, and I just love this series so much. It's so good, and like the art is also stunning. I'm so glad I picked this up. This is like, oh, I am so happy. There are some times where it is like dark, especially in the beginning, where you see what this girl goes through as a female Arjun, being sent to prostitution and all of that. It's just very dark, but there's also some very light-hearted moments, of course. And then with volume 8 leaving on a cliffhanger, I just need to know what happens next. But I love this series. It's actually in my top 10 favorite manga of all time. I highly recommend you guys check it out. It's so good. And then here we have probably my only out of print title, and that is After School Nightmare 1 to 10. We are following this guy who is intersex, so I'm pretty sure he has the top of a male and the bottom part of a female, and he has been keeping that secret for a long time in school, not wanting anyone to find out. However, there's this weird program at this school where some people are sent to, where it's after school, where they all enter in like a dream-like world, where in that dream they show their true identity or who they really are. So because they all have some sort of trauma, this program helps you overcome that trauma, practically just facing those fears. And the only way to graduate from this program is to find a key, I'm pretty sure. And practically they also wear these like bead necklaces and stuff, where if they break, then you die and you come out from the dream-like world. And there's also a love triangle, as you can see. I will say there are some problematic things with this, definitely, especially in terms of the romance. The way this guy talks to him is just, some parts I was just like, is that really okay? I was just like, that is not okay to say. But I really enjoyed this. It's so different from what I've usually read, and I really liked that. I will definitely say that this is one that, like, you have so many questions by the end of each volume, but then volume 10 just like explains it perfectly, and I just love that. However, this is one where it's best to reread it, because once you reread it, knowing what happens, you notice a lot of things that during your first read you missed. And I love those kinds of stories, so I definitely need to reread this eventually. But I really enjoyed this, and this was definitely like an unexpected series. I wasn't ever planning on picking this up. I found it for a good price on eBay, and it was one that piqued my interest, and I'm so glad I decided to get it, because this is amazing. And then here we have this like wee baby. It's meant to be like a humidifier, but I kind of just use it as decoration because it's really cute. I got this as a birthday gift. And the final series on this shelf is That Blue Sky Feeling, which is another shonen LGBT series. I love when shonen series do this, because I definitely do think that it needs to be explored more. And we're practically following this guy who moves to this new school, where he sees this guy who is by himself, and that is because he is gay, so no one wants to really hang around him, unfortunately, because of homophobia. So yes, this series tackles issues of homophobia, and coming to terms with sexuality, because these two do get together, and I just love the topics it talks about. And this was a really like good 3-volume series. It's short, but it does what it needs to do, and I really enjoyed it. I highly recommend it. This is a very accessible series, and it's there's at times where it's very light-hearted and cute, but then it can also get serious and talk about some of the issues with being a gay kid or finding out you're gay and coming to terms with that. So yeah, I really enjoyed this, and it's one I don't hear much of, so I'm hoping more people eventually read it because I really enjoyed it. And that is this shelf. Moving down, this isn't completely filled because I'm leaving space for more manga, but we shall go through them now. So first we have How Do We Relationship. Oh yeah, and I have this like little cute keyring which I got as a gift. I think a lot of these things I put on display I got as a gift, but I'm very grateful for all my gifts. Where practically we are following these two. This is a GL series where practically in college she decided that she wants to start dating girls, because in high school and stuff she kept it a secret. She never really was open about her sexuality. She just did not date any girls. However, she decided in college that now she's away from her parents, this is the time where she can date a girl, and then she finds out that she is also interested. So these two decide to get together just under the terms that they both like girls, so why not just date? And of course with that leads to some complications, and I love this series. This is a top 10 favorite manga. The way it deals with so many issues, not just LGBT issues, because obviously the issues with being a lesbian, how people treat you after finding out you're a lesbian, that whole like stigma around it and such, and the misconceptions with it, but it also tackles issues of sexism and other LGBT issues, not just being a lesbian, but just love in general, being with who you want to be, accepting that. There's also some, I'm pretty sure there was some homophobia where it's just like one of their friends, after they came out to them, just could not at first accept it and found it weird, which is really sad, but unfortunately that is reality. But it's just amazing with how many issues it tackles in such like, I think it does it in the best way. And there was a plot twist in like volume 5 or 4 or 5, I'm pretty sure there was like a big plot twist, something you don't expect in romance, but I think it makes complete sense because they didn't have let's just say they don't have the healthiest relationship. There's a lot of miscommunication of just not telling each other exactly what they want and just keeping quiet, and I just think it works out so well. And obviously it's How Do We Relationship, so it's just them trying to navigate their relationship and feelings, and I really enjoyed it, and I highly recommend you guys check this out. It's amazing and deserves so much more praise. Next up we have our Not So Lonely Planet travel guide. This unfortunately is only like a yearly release, 1 volume. But we're practically following this is an already established couple, and they are traveling the world, and they decide that if they are still together by the end of this travel, they will get married, because you know what people say, like, you don't truly know someone until you travel with them. And I love this series because we definitely see how there's some cracks in their relationship, just because one is definitely more open about their sexuality, whilst one is more quiet about it because Japan, you know, and how homophobia is quite present. And I love seeing the different countries the art is also very detailed, as you can see, and you see how they how I love how you see in different countries how LGBT couples are perceived, or how accepting some countries are, and it allows them to have a more open mind, and it's so cute. Only issue, as I said before, yearly release, so I'm pretty sure in January or something, or March, we're getting the 3rd volume, so this is just 1 volume yearly release. Even the Japanese volumes come out pretty slow, but yeah, I really enjoyed this. And just because the fact I love traveling as well, it is my dream to travel around the world one day. This was really nice to see, just like the cultures as well. And then next up we have Those Not So Sweet Boys. So I have 1 to 7, where practically, where's the girl? Is this girl here? Yeah. Well, practically we have this girl where she and her family are in debt because their father got into massive debt and he ran away. So practically she works a part-time job. However, at this school they're not allowed to work part-time jobs. And one day the chairman finds out she's working this part-time job, so he makes a deal for her where if she's able to bring these 3 boys back, because they have been suspended but they have not come back to school, then he will allow her to continue working at her part-time job. So she's like, yeah, sure. And so she has to bring these 3 boys back who don't have the greatest reputation. This one comes from a Yakuza gang, so obviously he doesn't have the greatest reputation. These both are just from very rich families, but I really enjoyed this. I know people say it felt a bit dragged, but to me, I felt like 7 volumes was like the perfect length, and I just like loved this so much. It's like nothing exceptional, but for some reason, I just absolutely adore this series. It's so cute. I really like the romance. I love the female lead. She's so cute. Like, she's probably one of my favorite female leads in like shoujo, not gonna lie. She's just so cute. I don't know why. I just love her optimism, but there are times where she is very understanding and she knows, like, there was a point where she was like, oh yeah, sometimes it's better to give up and all of that, and you don't always have to continue trying. And I felt like once she said that, she felt so real as a person, and I just love her so much. I also love the guy characters, like all of them could have gotten with her, and I don't think I would have been mad, not gonna lie, because I loved all 3 of them. So yeah, I just really enjoyed this, and I think after reading this, I definitely want to read her other works, which I know are shorter, but I want to read them because I heard she's like known for like your short, cute romance. So yeah, I am hoping to get her other works in the future. Next up is Love of Kill. So I have 1 and 2. So I'm definitely very, very behind on this series. Here's the synopsis, because I'm not really sure how to explain it, but it's just following these 2 assassins. I just think from this synopsis, once again, I thought it was going to be like heavy romance, but the action definitely takes the forefront on this series, and that's why I didn't enjoy volume 1 as much as I feel like I could have if I just expected more action. Because yes, there is still romance, and I will say the romance and like the relationship between these 2 are quite prevalent, but it wasn't as much as I was expecting. I really enjoyed the action and how it's drawn. I don't know if I can find it, but yeah, I don't know, I just really like the art. It's very detailed, and I just flinged my acrylics here. I'm very sorry, but yeah. However, after getting volume 2 to just see if I wanted to continue this, I reread 1 and 2 with different expectations, and that second time reading it, I enjoyed it so much more. So I just need to get more volumes. I'm planning on getting the latest volume and then probably doing a binge read, because I always prefer binge reading rather than reading just like 1 volume and then a few weeks later reading 2. Okay, then next up is Bingo Stray Dogs. I only have 1, 2, 3, actually volume 4, but once again it's in my unread shelf with my Dazai acrylic stand in this like chibi form. Bingo Stray Dogs is like, I don't even know how to explain it, not gonna lie, but that is what happens. You can pause that. Sorry, I just really don't know how to explain this. But one thing about Bingo Stray Dogs is that they're all real authors. Like Dazai, obviously, real author. They're all authors and they all have abilities, and their abilities are based on like the different novels all the authors have written. So I think that's so cool. I watched the anime for this, but then I just wanted to pick up the manga after watching the anime because it was amazing. The anime is actually in my top 10 favorite anime, so I am now picking up the manga, but quite expensive, so we'll see how long it takes. And then we got some Yen Press BLs. So we have I Cannot Reach You Volume 1. This is just 2 childhood friends where one is like deeply in love with the other one and is trying to confess his feelings. This one I found was quite average. However, I really enjoy the art and I love childhood friends to lovers. So I want to continue this. I finally got volume 2, which was the volume that's been out of stock for a very long time. So I will probably get some more volumes and then I will reread this because I don't have much memory of what happened in here, not gonna lie. Oh, and I would like to say this whole thing, from what it sounds like and from what I've read, it seems to focus a lot on the miscommunication trope. So yes, I don't really like miscommunication, but sometimes it works out, so I'm hoping that's one of those cases. Next up we have Sasaki and Miyanos at 1. Oh my gosh. Okay, yep, 1, 2, 3. So this is a really cute BL where it's just this guy loves reading BL manga, and then he shares that interest with this older guy. He's like a year he's like a grade above him or something, and he shares that interest with BL with him, and they eventually form a relationship. It's so cute. I love how accepting this guy is of this guy's interest, and how he never judges him for what he enjoys, and I love that. Like, he is the standard, honestly. And the covers, like, look at, okay, volume 1 is kind of plain, not gonna lie, but then look how much volume 2 and 3 improve. It's so nice. I love this. I take so long to like pick up the next volume, so I keep on forgetting what happens, so I might just watch the anime and then I will get all the volumes and then I will read them. So yeah, okay, putting these up because gosh, I need more bookends, let's say. We have, oh, this is a long title, what the hell. We have The Other World Book Depends on the Bean Counter. So it's this guy, this overworked guy gets isekai practically into this world, and he still wants to work, so he works, and that catches the attention of him, who is like a knight, and they form a relationship later on, obviously. But I really enjoyed this first volume. This first volume was so good. However, the releases do seem a bit slow, which is a shame, but I loved it so much. I know this is based on a light novel from my memory, so I may read the light novel. I'm hoping that maybe Yen Press will release the light novels, because I really enjoyed the manga. The relationship seems cute already, and I'm excited to see how this continues. So yeah, I cannot wait for more volumes of this. Eddie, we already see how he begins caring for him and starts paying more attention to him, and it's so cute. Next up is The Maid I Hired Recently is Mysterious. I know this got an anime adaptation, however, I think this is better communicated through manga, just because, as you can see, every panel, her eyes are colored. So everything else is still black and white, but her eyes are colored, and I love that. And obviously with the anime, that doesn't work out as well, but I picked this up mainly for the art. I really liked it. It was alright. It's just a bunch of short stories. A lot of questions, actually. I have a lot of questions about exactly who she really is. Like, yeah, she is mysterious, but like also the boy's family situation. I am just a bit worried because he is literally, like, he is just genuinely, he is like a little boy, and yeah, I'm just worried some relationship is gonna form, like, even though it'll still be creepy either way, even if it forms like when he's older, but for now it remains somewhat innocent. I'm just worried that it feels like it's gonna be quite repetitive, because I feel like it starts the same way every chapter. It's like, oh, my maid is mysterious, something, and then he discovers something about her. So yeah, I probably will continue picking this up. However, if I do think it's getting a bit weird or creepy, I probably will drop this. Next up is Mamu Akuma 1 and 2. So we're following this demon where this girl summons him, and practically she's like, can you please be my mom? So yeah, that's practically, he acts like a mother because her mom is dead and her father is not always there for her, and it's sometimes really sad at some points, because, you know, it's just this girl who wants like a motherly figure to be there for her, but it's also really wholesome and cute because we see how this devil like takes it super seriously and tries his best to be the best kind of like mom he can be for her, to always be there for her. I've heard people say they are worried that it turns into a romance between the two, and I pray not, because I forgot that's a thing, because I don't know why they like doing that, where they make like a fatherly daughter relationship turn into something creepy or weird. So I'm praying not, but for now it remains wholesome, so I'm hoping it stays that way. I am crossing my fingers because I do not want any of that. I just want cute, like, father-daughter, well, mother, you know, familial relationship between the two. No romantic, please. So yeah, that is the shelf. And then moving on, we have my Tokyo Revenger shelf. So yep, I moved it and I just put that book there. And then while we're here, I'll show you guys my acrylic stand, which it's been through a lot because it came to me broken, which is very annoying, so I had to get it stuck back, but it's like it's just forever detached or whatever, I don't even know. So yeah, we just ignore that. This is super cute though. I love this acrylic stand. It's just all of them together. And then we have my Chihuahua figure. So I have the 2 English omnibuses, and then all the Japanese. I have 1 to 26, so I'm missing like 5 more volumes. And then I also have these are like some guidebooks or fan books, so yeah, I just have those as well. This one is for the anime, and then this one is definitely for the manga, which has some pretty art in it. I love the fashion in Tokyo Revengers. It's like delinquent fashion, but it's so nice. And here are the English copies. I love the English copies, not gonna lie. Even though I'm sad they are omnibuses, I really like how like big they are, because as you can see, I love like the paneling for this is so nice because it's so big. But practically Tokyo Revengers, it follows a this guy who he sees on the news that his girlfriend from middle school was killed in a accident from this gang called the Tokyo Manji gang. And then he gets pushed off this track, and then he ends up getting transported to 12 years back in time to when he was in middle school, where he had his girlfriend. And then after some incidents, he decides that he will continue going back in time in order to save his girlfriend from death. And I think it's very obvious how much I love this manga. I have praised it over and over again. It's in my top 10. I do think it fell off towards the end. It's not as good as the rest, but I still absolutely love this series. I love all the characters. I think once again a huge part of why I love this series is the characters. The characters are super likable, and I really enjoyed the series. The spines are so nice as well. But yeah, I really enjoy this series, and I don't care what people say. I love Tokyo Revengers. I think it's a great series, and I will still recommend it because I think it is amazing. And season 2 of the anime is coming out soon, so I'm so excited. I'm literally like screaming. I cannot wait to see like some of the characters animated, and it's like I forgot what arc it's called, but it's like that arc, and I'm so excited. So yeah, that is my Tokyo Revengers shelf. And then we are on to the final shelf. So here I have all my Japanese manga, so my shoujo. So I will just go through them all. So here is the first one. I will put the titles in the corner because I don't know what this one is, but this is a really weird manga. I picked it up used at a Japanese used bookstore because it looked really familiar to me, because practically it's this world where like because of like the population difference, some guys may turn to girls and some girls may turn to guys. So that happens to this guy who ends up turning into a girl, and that leads to some issues because he's trying to hide his identity of turning into a girl because he's in love with this girl. And then it obviously results to a love triangle. As you can see, this was just a weird manga series, not gonna lie. It just had a really weird plot, because I just remember reading that from my childhood, but I did not remember it being like that. But it was weird, but it still wasn't like a bad read. I just don't know if I would really recommend it to anyone. Next up, oh my gosh, the manga toppled again. Next up is It Takes More Than a Pretty Face to Fall in Love. This is one of the manga I talked about being obsessed with, so that's why I got the magazine and the paper standees. But practically it follows these two where they want the school to get more popular. So I'm pretty sure like the principal or something asked these two can you guys like make the school account popular? So she takes photos of him in order to promote the school, and they form a friendship to relationship. Did I say she was obsessed with pretty faces? I don't remember, but yeah, she is obsessed with pretty faces, and he is like pretty boy material, you know. But the romance is so cute. I've heard some people say it's fast-paced, but I don't really think it's that fast-paced, not gonna lie. I think that the pacing is completely fine, and I really enjoy it. The romance is so cute. There's so many scenes that I was like kicking my feet. I just love it, and this is a shoujo I highly recommend. The characters are very well written as well. We see they each have their struggles, especially him, and how because of his pretty face, he struggles to find out who he really is, because that's all anyone really praised him for. And I just loved it so much, and I definitely need to get more volumes because it's just too good, you know. And then next up we have this series where we practically follow these 3 siblings who all can read minds, and it's practically just their like romantic relationships. The main one we focus on is him with this girl who has he daydreams a lot, and because of her daydreams, that catches his interest, and they end up forming a relationship, and it's so cute. Not gonna lie, the relationships between the girl and this guy are not that developed, but this is super developed. You see them grow through you know, all the stages of love, and you see the complications, or like his feelings of should he confess whether he can read minds or not. And I really enjoyed this. This is a very like underrated shoujo. I'm pretty sure there's like a live action for this, if I'm not mistaken. I'm missing volume 6. Volume 6 is the last volume, but I'm missing that. I once again got this used, but I really enjoy this. I'm so glad I picked this up. This was definitely like one that I was never going to find out otherwise, so I'm glad I checked it out during the trip to the Japanese bookstore. So I highly recommend that if you can get it. I think you can only read it through scans. I don't think there's any like other way, unfortunately. So yeah. Next up, I have this like one shot. So this series, not including that it takes more than a pretty face, this series and then this series I all got from that Japanese used bookstore in the city. This, I cannot tell you one single thing. I remember nothing of this series. It is a one shot, as you can see. There's only 1 volume, and I remember nothing. I remember not really liking it, not gonna lie. I picked it up purely because of the art, and I read the scans of it, and I did not enjoy it from my memory. But yeah, I'll keep it for the art, not gonna lie. And I only got it for like $1 or $2, so can't really complain, you know. Oh gosh, toppling. Next up, we have a condition called Love. I've talked about this series numerous times on my channel. This is one getting printed in English, and I love it so much. It's following this guy who is like a pretty boy, so a lot of people only get with him for his face, and he gets broken up with, and this girl offers him an umbrella, and he kind of just falls for her, and they get into a relationship, and it is so cute. The romance is so good, but the characters are also very well written, especially this guy. You see later on in the volumes how he why he is the way he is now, why he acts a certain way, and all of that, and I just find it amazing. And also the girl, I just love her. She's so cute. She's just always super optimistic, just always super cute. I just love her so much, honestly. And I cannot wait for the English release for these. I'm so glad Kodansha finally printed it in English. It was like about time, not gonna lie. I have 1 to 5, and then I have volume 10. Volume 10 was like emotional. I think this is their first like big fight, you could say, because of something that happened. And I got volume 10 because it came with this fan book, and it just includes some information and sketches of the manga, of the different characters. You can see like the original designs, and yeah, having this is so cute. Like, look how cute they are. I can see how much they truly love each other. I just love it so much. And then the final manga series on this shelf is And Yet You Are So Sweet. I remember reading this and just falling in love. It's so cute. I remember it's just like this girl gets heartbroken by the guy she was in love with, and he just kind of consoles her really and just tells her, why not date me, sort of thing. And that's how their relationship forms. This is one where I just find like the romantic interactions between them so cute. I just remember just really enjoying this. Unfortunately, the scans for this hasn't been out in a while, and even like the official English translations, because I was like, I might as well just like buy it. I cannot access it at all for some reason, so I have no idea why. So I hope that gets fixed soon, because I really love this series. But not gonna lie, I haven't read it in a while, so I don't really remember much. I know this is getting a live action though, so I probably will watch the live action, but I really don't remember much because it's just been so long since I read a new chapter. I just remember really enjoying, like, obviously I enjoyed it enough to get the physical releases of this manga. So yeah, and look how nice the spines are. Yes. So that is my second shelf. Sorry if I went through that pretty fast. It's just I've been filming for like a few hours, so I'm just like drained. So I'm gonna show you guys quickly my unread shelf and we'll end this video. So as you can see, I practically have 2 more shelves like right across because I was running out of space. So I'm planning on keeping this shelf just all my novels. As you can tell, it's like these 2 are the only shelves that have been organized, and then those are just all my unread novels just chilling. And then this shelf I'm planning on having be my manga shelf. So here are all my unread manga. I won't really talk through them, I'll just kind of show you guys. So we have the Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, 1, 2, 3. You'll see an unboxing video because I did unbox it. We'll just see how long it takes for me to get the rest of my packages, and then upload that video. And then I have the Scum's Villain Self-Saving System 1, 2, and 4. Volume 3 is coming soon. Volume 4 is also coming. So as you can see, I got the rest of the MXTX novels, so I'm so excited to have them, and I will be reading them this holidays. And then I have Waterkoi 1, 2, and 1 and 6. So I have the first and the last volume. This is the Books Kinokuniya Special Edition. So inside is the Shikishi board, as you can see. I'm just waiting to get all the volumes, and then I will read this in its entirety. Then we have Kaiju number 8, volume 2. So I have the second volume, I just haven't read it because I want to wait for more volumes. Moriarty the Patriot, volume 1 and 2. I absolutely love this series. It's my favorite anime, so I want to read the manga. I heard the manga is different to the anime in terms of the sequence of events. Like some of the events that happen in the anime happen like way earlier or way later in the manga. So I'm very excited to see the differences. I just love the anime so much, so I knew I had to get that. And then we have all the Yona volumes that I picked up. So 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I'm missing just 7, and then I'll have a clean run from 1 to 11. And then I will read these because I've just been waiting for volume 7 to come back in, come back in stock, and then I'll finally pick it up. I have Nana 1 and 2. I'm just waiting to get some more volumes, and then I will read this. I'm not sure if I want to read the manga first or the anime. I may watch the anime first and then I'll read the manga. Kami-sama Kiss Volume 1. I watched the anime and I loved it, so I had to get the manga. Once again, this is just another case of getting more volumes, so I will wait until then and then I will read it. That's usually why these are in the unread shelf. It's just I'm waiting for more volumes before reading them. Next up is Our High Ride 1 and 2. This, I think most of the volumes are actually in stock, so I should get this pretty soon. Imikoi 1. The reason why I'm not really explaining them is because I will eventually in a future like unboxing video or a reading log if I do one, so that's why I'm just kind of briefly going through them. Imikoi, this one seemed super cute. It's like a delinquent, and I honestly really love delinquent romance, so I'm hoping this is good. I've heard mixed opinions about this though, so I'm just praying. Then we have I Cannot Reach You Volume 2. So here's the second volume. Being the Stray Dogs Volume 4. Super thin, as you can see. I'm just like, yeah. Sasaki Miyano Volume 4. So I'm just need to get like 5 and 6. I'm pretty sure that is all that is currently out. And then I'll be up to date. And then Nameless Astrum 1, 2, and 3. As you can see, I got them for $8 when they were originally like $20. So good price, honestly. I'm so happy. And this is one I wanted to read because it's a Geo love triangle. So yeah, that is my unread shelf. Okay, so that is the end of my manga collection. I talked for so long. Oh my gosh, my neck, my arms hurt, my voice hurts. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. I do apologize if any of my explanations are like very poor, or if this just felt really chaotic, because a lot of the manga was just toppling over as I was talking. A lot of background noises, unfortunately. I just live in a busy road. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day and a happy new year to everyone, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.